What's up guys, Nick here with Taco Jeep Adventures, about to do a video of a new product I got from Prinsu. I will unveil that here momentarily, but basically it's one of their options for the windshield or wind deflector there on the front of their roof rack. So I have opted to buy one of their vinyl kits, so I will show you guys that. Before we jump right in, wanted to give a shout out to ILAR for sponsoring this video, as well as American Patriot Revolution 1776. I get many of their shirts through that company. Thank you to both of those guys for sponsoring this video. I have not yet bolted this case down, guys. I literally just got this. I did an unboxing on my Instagram. It is actually upside down so you can see it. ILAR is a new upcoming company. You guys can go check them out. This is their 44-inch rifle case, which is customizable, pressure release valve, it's lockable, the latches. I kind of go over a little bit more detail on my Instagram. Here's my Instagram, nickg_trd, and you'll see all things tacos on that channel. All right, let's get to it. So for starters, I've got everything laid out here. I'm gonna end up moving this and I'll get the vinyl laid out here in a moment, but just wanted to show you. When I take that off, I'm gonna end up cleaning it, obviously do a little surface prep, but nonetheless, you can do it by hand, or if you've got a drill or a little impact. It just takes a Phillips bit to get the face of the Prinsu wind deflector off. There's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 screws across the face here. You do not need to detach these on the sides. That is the support pole that goes from side to side. I'm not gonna bother with that. I'm just going to take the screws off the face to remove that panel. I have this extendable magnet here, and as I was undoing the screws on the truck that hold on this wind deflector, as you can see, very strong. It caught everything, right? So I didn't drop any lock washers or any of the screws, so none of the hardware. So recommend that. And then as far as cleaning, you know, you can use a variety of soap types. I just grabbed some Dawn, readily available. I do have some Adams Detail stuff over there. I could have grabbed their stripper soap. But nonetheless, you just want to kind of wet this down and get it soapy. I agitated the surface with a pretty tough brush here, right? To get all that dirt, do like a crosshatch pattern, get it cleaned up. I'm gonna dry it off here and go over it again with some alcohol prior to. You'll definitely want to prep the surface so that you have a good chance of you know, mating the vinyl to that surface and keep it durable for many days to come. Right, so we got it laid out here a little bit. In the kit, you're going to get this vinyl roll, whichever pattern you opted for. Obviously I went with white, top of pattern. You can kind of see here along the edge, it's already pre-cut. You can see the holes for the hardware. Like, I've already taken a couple out because I'm thinking I'm gonna probably work from the middle out and then from the middle out that way. Also, they include this, I believe, if I had to guess, this is probably, I mean, because they only have this one template. If you have a cutout for a light bar, you probably end up just cutting off the excess vinyl on your particular deflector, right? But I don't have that. So we're gonna start there. I did add a little bit of soap and water. I'm gonna end up you know, making it so it doesn't stick and I can work with it a little easier. Another thing you're going to want to have, I've got one of these from a prior project. It's pretty pliable, but I can essentially squeegee the water out from underneath the vinyl so that it adheres. Some folks will use a credit card, or you know, there's other things you can use. I would just encourage you to be careful to not damage the vinyl. A couple things to note that I figured out in the middle of the process. The wind reduction noise trim that they put, or is optional with these, which I do have, had to come off. It was not working with it on there. So FYI on that, if you've got that, I would go ahead and proactively take that off before cleaning, because I had to clean it again. The vinyl was just not getting up under there. Nonetheless, I definitely worked from the middle out both ways. It doesn't matter which way you start. I coated it pretty good with the soapy water, and also coated so both the vinyl and the wind deflector, and then basically I aligned those middle holes, and I just kind of, I could tell the holes weren't aligning up perfectly all the way across, so you give it a little just a little pressure or pull on one side, and I just started with the squeegee on my other hand and went right up the middle, and that got me pretty close for aligning the holes. And then I just worked my way with the squeegee from the center of the wind deflector on the vinyl downward, right, and then upward. So center out, center to the right, center out, and then followed that on this side as well. Looked over it. You may see a couple little bubbles here and there. A lot of that will subside, but nonetheless it came out pretty good. You can use a hair dryer, a heat gun, or put it in the sun for a little bit. I may go over it with my heat gun after this, but I've just got it kind of sitting in the sun here for a little bit. So we'll be back in a moment as we start to put it back together. So I did end up using my heat gun. Went over it, took the trim off. When you take this off, it's not going to just go back on, right? You've pried it open. You gotta go down the whole line of the trim and kind of, you know, squeeze it back together. And now she's gripping on nice. And you just kind of start from the end, and you're going to want to push that up in there. As you can see, just kind of run your hand down. I'm going to end up doing that all the way down, and I'll show you guys. But yeah, that's an absolute must. You're going to have to take this out. I cleaned the whole groove out. It was full of dust, just some alcohol. And yeah, I'm going to get this all back on. Definitely make sure you pinch it, and it'll grab like it did when you put it on the first time. Trim is all the way on. Time to bolt her on. I think what I'm going to do is get up there in position. Just put one on either side, right, just to kind of keep it in place and get it aligned, and then I'll work with putting them all in. One thing to note, it did come with this piece, right? It's vinyl, and it just kind of flops the colors of the rack, right, because it's cut out. I actually have a, I don't remember where I got it from, a little piece that's 3M'd back here, so it kind of gives the accent. I think I'm going to leave it black and exposed and not cover that up. I mean, tell me what you guys think, but not totally in love with that. Definitely stands out, but that's how we're going to send it. All right, guys, it is on. It's going to take some getting used to, but I like it. I definitely, I think I like it. First glance. Something worth noting, I've just got the hardware kind of sitting in place. Like I just started to thread it because I noticed when I started to tighten a couple of them down, it was wanting to wrinkle the vinyl for whatever reason. I figured it would have been pretty decently adhered. Again, let it sit in sun, probably 10-15 minutes after squeegeeing it out. And then I also hit it with the heat gun for a bit. So we'll see. It may create little wrinkles around the washers, but nonetheless, there it is, guys. Hopefully that was helpful. I've done some vinyl work over a couple vehicles and messing with this quite a bit, so it's not too bad, especially on a flat surface. But for those who haven't done it, it can be frustrating. So hopefully that was helpful. Prinsu, they have various options. This one was back ordered. It took months to get, so I just got it, and wanted to toss that on because who doesn't want to do a mod, especially a relatively cheap one when you can, right? So thank you guys for joining. Feel free to follow along on Taco Jeep Adventures. We're up and coming, you know, we're just starting to create some content on our various travels and wheeling videos, so more to come there. And then for those who just like to see beautiful tacos, you can go on Instagram and find me here. I try to share content fairly frequently because I love this truck, obviously. All right, guys, thanks for joining. Take care.